Hello! We wanted to share an easy fabric printing project with you to keep your creativity flowing and your hands busy. It's also great for children because we're not going to use any dangerous materials or anything like that. It's all really simple, no cutting involved. We don't need any specialist equipment. All you need to do is raid your recycling bin and dig out a couple of these toilet roll tubes, kitchen roll tubes, any other sort of cylindrical pots or shaped pots that you've got. You can use for this. It's going to be really, really simple. We're going to use the ends of these to print onto our fabric. And I'm going to be using hand printed fabric paint. I've got this in kiwi here and in dark turquoise, and these can be heat set when I've finished printing. So when your print's dry, you can heat set it with an iron and then it's washable. But you can use anything that you've got really. A textile screen printing ink will work well. Or you can even use acrylic paint, poster paint, anything you've got lying around the house. Just bear in mind that some of them might not be washable. That doesn't matter for all projects anyway, so it doesn't matter too much, especially if you're printing some things with children. You can print on paper, anything you like. So have a dig around and see what you've got. Obviously this one is going to print a circle. Just going to use this straight down on my fabric to print a circle, but you can, these are cardboard, so you can bend them into any shape that you want. I have been playing around a little, and I've bent one into this sort of starry cross shape, which looks really cute when printed onto fabric, and it also takes away from the whole, this looks like it was printed with a toilet roll thing, so that's always good. So to make that one, all I did was bend the tube in half, like this, turn it 90 degrees, bend it again. That should sort of have a rough square. Put it square upright like that. Fold again. And then once again like that. So I've got folds all the way around. And now I'm just going to manipulate it clumsily by pushing every other fold inward. So it's kind of like a concertina all the way around. So I'm going around. Actually, that's kind of nice. Yeah, so you could do something like this. Or if you want to keep going, fold it into a cross like that. And there you've got your shape. You can make these into hearts, crunch them up, and anything you like, whatever kind of shape that you fancy. I've got an old sheet here, so rummage around in your house, see any t-shirts that have got stains on them, tote bags that are boring, tea towels, anything that you've got lying around the house will be fine. Obviously you can also do it on paper. I've got this sheet pinned out onto a padded surface. These are the same padded surfaces we use in the studio. It is a blanket stretched around a board with some cotton on top, but you can print, you can put a towel down and print onto that and just put some weights on the corners of your fabric. You can print onto a piece of blanket. Anything that you've got really that just gives it a little bit of extra spring. That spring will just help you get a nice even print and stop any bumps in the table and any things like that appearing in the print, which is going to be a pain. Okay, so I've got my fabric paint on a tray. You can use a plate, anything that you've got. I've just got 2 little pools of it. So all I need to do, it's really simple, is dip the tube into the paint. Where am I going to do this where you can see there, and just stamp it onto the fabric. Really easy. I'm going to do mine in little rows to get a little bit of order from the chaos, but you can do it as a scatter. Your kids can go a bit bonkers with it. You can go multicolored, whatever you feel like at the time. And this is going to print out really quickly, so if you've got some dingy cushion covers, or even like a duvet cover if you're feeling ambitious, anything that you fancy giving a little bit more interest, you can print out with this, and it's going to come together really, really quickly. Because of the strength of this fabric paint, this is going to go through to the other side of my fabric. This old sheet is reasonably thin, so it's just going to show up on the other side. So I'll kind of end up with a double-sided fabric, which is a kind of nice happy accident that might happen. Actually, I printed some earlier just to check it out. and so you can see that on the back I've got the print as well, so you can use something that's double-sided too. Let's just print one more row of those turquoise circles, and they're going to be a little bit blobby. You're going to have a few spatters, but it just looks handmade, and that's what makes it interesting. Okay, so I've got 4 rows of neat-ish little circles. Now I'm just going to get my little crossy shape there, dip it in the paint, and I'm just going to put one of those in the middle of each circle there. Again, print whatever you like, whatever pattern, experiment with different shapes. And you can use the same stamps to create a variety of patterns. Switch the colours out, whatever you feel like doing. If you load up the paint too much, it can get a little blobby, but it looks like you can get 2 stamps, maybe 3 out of 1 inking, which makes it print a little faster. Okay, you can see how quickly this pattern comes together. Just print another row of my little circles. And then another row of little stars, little crosses. You can see that I'm just dipping it in the paint and moving it over. Let's do 2 with that one. Okay, and there we have it. I could keep going with this for hours, days, to print as much as I like, as much as you like. I'm going to leave it to dry. Some of the ink is a little blobby. You can see the shiny bits here. Some of it's a little thicker. So it's going to take a little while to dry, but it should be dry by the end of the day. And then tomorrow I will just give it an iron. You can put a tea towel or baking paper on top if you want to, and then iron it on the hottest setting that the fabric will allow until the fabric feels hot to the touch, and then it's going to be heat set. And then you're good to go. And then it should be washable for 30 to 40 degrees, just like any other printed fabric would be. So if you make this project or anything like it, please tag us. I would love to see what you're making. It's really interesting to see what everyone's getting up to, especially in these weird times. It's nice to stay in touch and see what everyone is up to. So please tag us on Instagram or on Facebook. We would love to see what you are making.